Hey guys, how's it going? So this is Aaron here, and this is pretty much a flexibility routine that's going to help you get from this to this. I hope I got my fingers right. Okay. So before we get into the video, one of the main things of what I want to tell you is one thing that really pissed me off when I used to look for instructional videos on how to get more flexible. Pretty much it was a really flexible person on YouTube or on Instagram telling me to do these stretches. Didn't pretty much give me how long I need to do it for, how often I need to do it for. It was just someone who's really bendy, folding over with a big smile on their face, and yeah, just telling me, okay, fold over like this, do this stretch, do that stretch, and then I'll magically become flexible. But in reality, it doesn't always work like this. See, I started off with a bodybuilding background. I have two fractured patellas and yeah, severely damaged hamstrings. So when I started off, every time I folded over, I had immense pain. It was so caught up. I had done bodybuilding for a long time. Yeah, it was really painful. So this flexibility routine is kind of what I used, and I have been perfecting it and changing it over the past few years. And now I think it's pretty much, yeah, the best version of it so far. So I'm here to show you guys what that routine is. And yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm here on my mat, and we're gonna initially start off by just folding over and letting our hands dangle. Now, you sometimes might be over here, but wherever you are, you're just gonna let your hands dangle. You're gonna put all the weight into your heels and push your tailbone out. Just relaxing as much as you can, keeping your knees straight. Even if that means that your hands are not touching the ground, that's completely fine. You're gonna stay here for 1 minute. And while we stay here for 1 minute, I'm just going to talk to you guys. So basically, one of the things that I always get is when I tell people that they need to stretch, or when I initially started to stretch, one of the things that I hated the most was the fact that it used to take so long and it's damn boring. And we sometimes just don't know what we're doing. It's often very frustrating because we feel like we're not going anywhere. But things tend to happen sooner than you think. Now, you can also rock back and forth in your initial forward fold. This is just like warming up, and this is the thing that takes your muscle, and that terrible feeling you get when you bend over for the first time, that your muscle just being stretched. Yeah, this takes that away to a certain extent. So this routine that I have come up with and that I have been doing for the past few years will only take you around 20 or 25 minutes. Now, initially, when I started, I did this around 4 to 5 times a week, every day. And sometimes when I feel super motivated, I should do it twice a day. So it depends on how fast you want to progress, but I would say a minimum of 2 to 3 times a week. And yeah, 20 to 25 minutes. If you can and if you want to do it more, feel free to do it more often. And yeah, good luck. So we're going to initially start off with this forward fold, hang around for 1 minute, and I feel like that 1 minute has gone by now. So straight away from your forward fold, you're going to bend your knees, your feet are around hip distance apart, and you're going to fold yourself over. Right? So once we fold ourselves over, you're just going to relax. You're just going to let the weight sit into your heels, and you're going to relax. Bring your hips down towards the mat as much as you can. You can move back and forth, opening up like your hips, just loosening them up, making the blood flow into them just a little bit more. From here, you're going to place your hands flat onto the mat, or you can put your fingertips on the mat and see if you can push up. Now from here, if you're struggling to push your knees out or straighten your legs, I want you to push into your fingertips, round out your back, draw your ribs in. see, when you create more space, you give yourself more space to fold over. So push your hands into the mat and then actively push your knees back, right? So this actively pushing your knees back is what's going to help you get more flexible. So you're going to keep your fingertips into the mat, push your knees back. Now, I do realize that sometimes you might be here, you might be straight, everything might be pushed in, and your knees might be still bent. Don't worry about it. That's your starting point for today. And great, you figured it out. So it's only uphill from here, right? So push your fingertips into the mat, and even if you can't straighten your knees, keep pushing them back. So actively push them back, and then see how far you can bring your torso in. So you're gonna stay here, just move around side to side. This is still the warm-up. You're gonna do this for around 10 to 20 seconds. And then you're gonna squat down again. Now, this time, when we do go into our forward fold, what we're going to do is we're gonna wrap our hands around and grab our ankles. Now, again, you wanna place your hands out in front of you, wrap it so your shoulder is on the inside of your knee. You're gonna take your hand around your knee and grab your ankles on both sides. Now from here, you're gonna keep your chest onto your thighs as much as you can, and then straighten out your legs. Now, throughout the whole movement, you're trying to keep your chest plastered onto your thighs. So you're trying to keep it close, keep it close, keep it close, and push out. You're trying to straighten your legs. Now, you're not trying to give it the full go right at the start. You're going to push your knees out to the side, but bring your chest in close, but at around a 60 to 70% level of effort. Keep pushing, 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 holding for around 10 seconds. You can be the judge of this. And then when you're relaxing, you're going to come back into your squat. Now, as you probably have figured out already, your squat is your resting position. Now, one thing I realized when I'm working on my hamstrings, this actively pushing out for 10 seconds and then relaxing for 10 seconds is the easiest way and the most time effective way to loosen them up. So again, we're going to repeat this for around 10 times. You're going to grab your ankles, keep your chest onto your thighs, and push out. Each time, you're going to increase the level of effort by around 5%. So now you can, around 65%, be the one judge of this. Throughout the whole movement, you're actively trying to push your knees back. You're pulling into your ankles to bring your torso closer to your chest. Again, hold for 10 seconds, relax, move around. 10 seconds up, grab the ankles, push in. Actively pushing back, knees pushing out, torso pulling into your legs, and relaxing. So you're going to keep doing this, and eventually you'll find that your hamstrings start to loosen up. So even if this is hard for you, even if you can't stretch your legs out, straighten them out, actively putting the intention of pushing your knees back and keeping your torso together with your legs is going to help you in the long run, right? So we'll do it one more time. We're gonna wrap our hands around our knees, keep our chest onto our thighs, keep as close as you can, and then push it up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relaxing. Okay, so I think we did that around 4 to 5 times. So I'm gonna do it. This is all how much I do now. But if you feel like doing it more, you can pause the video right here and keep going. So we're moving on to the next one. Okay, so movement number 2. We call this the half butterfly. Okay, so basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna sit on your mat, on the floor. Doesn't really matter. If you don't have a mat, don't worry about it. Okay, so you're gonna extend one leg. You're gonna take the sole of your other foot you're going to place it on the inside of your thigh. So basically, it looks like this. One leg straight, take the sole of your foot, place it on the inside of your thigh. Good. I'm going to just do it on this side so you can see better. So, foot on the inside of your thigh, and also you want to make sure that your hips are square. So, not like this where it's at an angle, but square. So, you want to close off the hips, you want to keep the leg in. Now, from here, it's okay if the leg moves out a few degrees to the outside. That's completely fine. So, you want to relax. Take your foot, extend your ankle. So your foot is not pointing, but you want to extend the Achilles tendon. So you get a stretch through there too. After that, you can just relax it and your foot is not going to slip back. Okay? If your mat is grippy, your foot is not going to slip back. So from here, you want to relax your leg, relax both legs. You want to draw your lower belly in as much as you can and then fold yourself over. Now you can walk your hands in, and now I know that if you are really tight, it's going to be hard to even fold over. And if you do manage to fold over, after a little while, you're going to start pulling back, pulling back, pulling back. Now this used to happen to me. So basically what I did when I started to stretch was that I put one of my hands underneath my calf. So it would anchor me down. Okay, so that's all I did. I put my hand underneath and I just tried to stay forward as much as I can. So you can also hold on to your calf. You can also hold on to your heel. You can also put one hand on your calf, opposite hand grabs the calf, and you just want to fold over. So when we are folding over, we are also not trying to put too much effort in. So always go around 60 to 70% of your maximum effort. So if my maximum effort is here, I am only going to come to around here, relax, and let my head drop, and relax my entire body. Now I'm using this as my anchor point, so the only muscles that are engaged are the muscles in my arm where I'm using my hand to hold myself in position. Now my leg and the parts that are being stretched are completely relaxed. So this is what you want to have. You want to have a completely relaxed leg. Whatever muscle that you're trying to target needs to be totally relaxed. So basically we're going to hold a half butterfly for 2 minutes on each leg. So you're going to finish your half butterfly on both legs, 2 minutes each side. And then right from there, you're going to extend both legs, bring the soles of both feet together. Now you can have your feet further away from you, you can have them closer into you. It doesn't really matter. Every day you can play around with a different distance of your feet to your body. I personally like to have them not too far away, but not too close by either. So you're going to bring the soles of your feet together and you're going to relax your knees, right? When you relax your knees, don't try to push them out too much. Just going to let time and gravity do the work for you. So let your knees spill out however much they want. And if that means that they're up here, that's completely fine. If they're even higher and even tighter, that's also completely fine. Just let them hang out as much as they can. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your hands and simply just walk forward until you can't go anymore. Now, again, remember, you want to go to around your 60% max. So if you're feeling, if this was my 100%, I'm going to walk my hands back slightly and I'm going to judge, okay, this feels around 60%. So I'm going to hang out here. I'm going to hang out here for around 2 minutes. I'm completely relaxed. My legs are totally relaxed. My hips are totally relaxed. All I'm doing is I'm using my hands as a small anchoring point so I don't start slipping back. So once you're here and you're comfortable, you can tuck your head down, you can relax. Again, you're going to hold this for 2 minutes, and even if that means you're still up here and you're feeling the stretch, perfect. This is exactly what you want. It means you're doing it. You don't have to look like this. You don't have to look a certain way. Everyone's body is different, and everyone is on a different level of practice, right? So it doesn't really matter how you look, where you are. It just matters that you're doing it and that you're feeling it. Okay, moving on to the next one. All right, so now that we've done our butterfly, we're going to move on to the dragon. Now, the dragon is a bit of a painful one, but it's very important, right? So basically what we're going to do is we're going to start off in a tabletop position. Now, the tabletop position is where you have your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. From here, you're going to bring one leg to the outside of your hand. Perfect. Now you can lift that hand up and then lift your torso up. So you're in this position. From here, you're going to walk the other leg a little bit back and then point your toes. Your back toes are now pointed. From here, you're going to shift your hips forward and down. Right? So let me do it on the other side just so you guys can see. So this leg, knee over the toes, walk the back leg a little bit back, point your toes. You can place your hands on your knee and you're going to shift your hips forward and down. So basically what this is going to do, you're going to keep your chest up. What this is going to do, it's going to target your hip flexors. So this is painful for most. If you don't feel it, good, that's great. You can shift a little bit more forward and down, and this is going to stretch out your hip flexors. You can keep your torso upright. You can relax your hands. If you want to keep your hands on the ground, that's fine. Whatever that's comfortable with you, you're going to keep this leg relaxed as much as you can, and you're going to hold this for 2 minutes, each leg. Moving on to the next one. Okay, so we finished dragon on both sides, and now we're going to move on into sleeping swan. So for sleeping swan, you're going to start off in your tabletop position. Shoulders over your wrists, knees underneath your hips. You're going to bring your left knee, in this case it's my left knee, to my left wrist, left foot to my right hip. Okay, I'm going to then walk my right leg back until I can't go anymore. Once I can't go anymore, I'm going to point my toes. Now, if you look at it from here, my knee is on one side of the mat and my foot is not parallel to the mat, but it is closer to my hip. So the more you get your foot parallel to your knee or to the mat, the harder it becomes. Okay, so go according to what you feel. Now, once you do this, you're going to then come down onto your forearms. Now again, we're trying to keep our legs as relaxed as we can. So you're going to feel a stretch all along your IT band, your glutes, your hamstring, the hip flexor on your opposite side leg. You're going to feel it all, right? But if this is comfortable for you, you can also go down onto your torso and then just completely lay down and relax. So again, with this stretch, you're going to hold it 2 minutes for each leg. Completely relaxed, around 60 to 70% of maximum effort. Not too much. You don't want to tear your muscle. All we want to do is give it a good stretch. Yeah. So 2 minutes each side. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so we finished our sleeping swan on both sides, and now what we're going to do is called a reclining twist. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off on our back with our knees bent, our feet on the mat. We're going to then lift our hips up, move them over to the right, right? So we move them over to the right. We keep our feet in one place. We're just moving our hips, moving them to the right, putting them back down. Now, you're going to take your right leg and hook it over your left leg. Now, if you can find the hook, by hook, I mean wrapping your right leg around your left and hooking it over. If you can find that hook, great. If you can't find that hook, that's also completely fine. If you can't find the hook, just keep it hanging out there. If you can find the hook, super. Okay? And if you can't find the hook and you want the hook, don't worry about it. It's coming. Okay? Just stretch a bit more. It'll get to you. When I started off, I had no hook. So what we're going to do is we're going to just let our knees spill out to the left. So if you move your hips to the right, your knees spill out to the left. So what happens when our knees spill out to the left is our right shoulder is going to want to come up. So we're not trying to force our right shoulder down. We're just letting our right hand extend and letting time and gravity bring our right shoulder down to the mat. So all you want to do again in this is relax, even though it seems like a bit of a hard position to relax. You're just trying to breathe as normally as you can. You're trying to relax your core. You're trying to relax your legs. You're trying to relax your arm. You're not trying to force anything to happen. You're going to feel an immense stretch in your lower back, in your QL, your quadratus lumborum. That's the little muscle just above your hip bone that often hurts when you like do weird things, when you sleep in a weird position or you sit for a long time. That lower back pain, this is perfect for it, right? So you're just going to feel the stretch in your quadratus lumborum. You're going to feel it in your glutes. You're going to feel it in your hamstring. You're going to feel it in your IT band. You're going to possibly feel it in your shoulder, depending on how tight you are. Okay, so all you're going to do is you're going to keep your gaze towards the roof, relax your body, and chill out here for 2 minutes on each side. So one thing you need to remember with this is when you come out, you move slowly, you unwrap your legs, you lift your hips up, you place your feet on the outside edges of your mat, you let your knees cave in, and then just chill out there for about 20 seconds to decompress your spine, right? And when you're moving to the other side, just like we did on the right side, so we lift our hips up, we move them to the right, and then wrapped our right leg over. So when we're doing the other side, we're going to lift them up, move them to the left, place them back down. Our left leg wraps around our right. We find the hook if we can, and then if your left leg wraps over, your knees spill out to the right. Just like that, my shoulder is going to lift up, and I'm going to relax my hand, place it down, and eventually time and gravity will bring my left shoulder down to the mat or down to the floor. I'm going to feel a stretch in my QL, glutes, hamstrings, IT band, so on and so forth. All right, moving on to the next one. All right, so we're on the last stretch of the routine, okay? So went by pretty fast, right? Cool. So this stretch is for your upper body and it's for your shoulders. Now, if you did come from a bodybuilding background or you came from any sort of sports background, you're gonna have tight shoulders. Tight shoulders restrict a lot of movements. Even if we don't know that we are being restricted, trust me, from experience, we are being restricted. And when our shoulders open up a lot more, we have a lot more range of motion, we have a lot less problems, we can reach stuff more easier, we can lift our hand up without feeling like we're being shot in our shoulder, okay? So again, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off on our belly. You're gonna bring one hand, in this case, for example, it's my left hand, so I'm gonna extend my left hand parallel to my shoulder, right? So I'm going to extend it out. I'm going to take my right hand, come up onto my fingertips, underneath my right armpit, right? And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to roll myself onto my left hand. Now, when I'm rolling onto my left hand, I'm bringing my right foot and I'm placing it down behind me. I'm going to rest my head on the mat. I can rest it down like so. And then if this is comfortable, I'm going to bring my right hand and place it on my back. So this is going to feel, you're going to feel an intense stretch in your shoulder and possibly in your lower back. So we're going to hold this again for 2 minutes and we're going to relax everything, even though this is a very hard position to relax in. We're going to just hold and relax as much as we can, again going to around 60 or 80%. And if bringing your hand onto your back means you're going beyond that 60 to 80%, then always feel free to bring your hand forward so you can support your body out in front of you, right? But as you hold it for the 2 minutes and it starts to get easy and you want to increase the pressure a little bit more, you can take the leg that's
placed on the ground and extended out, and you should feel a little bit of a deeper stretch in your shoulder.
All right. So that's it. That's the whole routine. See, pretty simple, right? 20 to 25 minutes. Bit painful when you start off at the beginning of your journey, but what isn't? Like anything that's worthwhile is going to hurt a little bit, right? So yeah, do it as many times as you can. You can do it 5 times a week. You can do it 2 times a week. You can do it 2 times a day. Every day, you can, however much you want, right? So the more often you do it, the faster you're going to see results. And trust me, I started seeing results within the first 2 weeks. Now, it's not going to be a dramatic change overnight, but within 2 weeks, I start to feel a deeper range of motion. I start to be able to, go closer to the ground, get closer to my toes than I have been ever able to do before. So, yeah, give it a try. And yeah, hopefully you guys reach your flexibility goals. And yeah, so good luck, guys. Let me know how it goes in the comments below. Share the video. If you like the video, please like, subscribe. Much love. Catch you in the next one.